Hello and welcome. Today's date, it is the completion of the 9th day of December 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. Like we're always, all bets and trades are within each's own risk and their own reward. We'll do Bitcoin, crossover within Tezos, and then Theta against Bitcoin. Okay, so from this high, and that high was halfway through the year, we're almost finished the year, almost a halfway 6-month run of lower highs and lower lows amongst the Bitcoin chart, thus bear market in the second half of the year. As far as the year is concerned, we finished the year off at a price point of like 3,700, so we're basically close to 2x thus far year to date, and that's going to adjust maybe mildly over the next 3 weeks before it comes to a conclusion. And over the last since it got into it November 27th and firmly into it on the 28th, it has stayed within this correctionary phase from this last low on November the 25th. So it stays as one of those lower volatile wait and see kind of deals. Now on the single hour term time frame, we had a rally this morning at 10 o'clock. Which got above this level of resistance and most certainly a failed break higher, fast move lower as it got got down to the previous established support from December the 7th. And then we resisted in here at 1300 hours, which was the support from 3 o'clock in the morning. And then a couple hours down at 1400 and 1500 hours and has continued to stay down and reversing this move from this last little low. And it looks like we're going to have a retest of this previous level of the low or the mid 7100 level. We'll say in at 7150. On the 15-minute time frame, we can see this in here. This might have been some news event that was released, or it probably wasn't. However, I see a lot of these within Bitcoin, either up or down, where before a bigger grand move, you'll have a fake move in the opposite direction. Of course, today's being no exception. Still staying within the 18 average, even on the 15-minute term time frame. Yeah, we got some sideways action. But if it gets out above in here, that means an attempt to break through. And it moved to 7,400 when we go back to even the hourly time frame. Well, that would just get you within the 18. So still a decent amount of work that would be needed for reverting the trend on multiple different time frames. Let's move on to Tezos. And it's already changed from my preparation of 15, 20 minutes ago. It's a lot lower. It was about, a few dozen points higher, whatever. But it's gotten above this level of resistance, and the last I talked about this going in so many times, exitation of the 18, probably not going to find much of the great resistance here, and we didn't. We might be finding support here. We might be finding a failed breakout. For if price action does not have any type of holding and staying, even within here, like really the must hold for this move, the previous high currently coinciding right now with the 18 average of lows on the daily happens to be in. For this particular break higher, not the actual move from the lows, but from this break higher, this is where your must hold area comes into play. The price is now looking to make a move, probably piercing below to like 1966 or a bit lower. As we're playing this through, again, I was going to be stating here, it looks like this thing might be breaking down, and it's now doing so as we see this. And I'm just going to go right to the one. And yeah, I mean, this just started 1903. Right now it's 1912. So 9 minutes ago it started. All right. So why did I see it was going to happen? I guess with the 1 hour, it was starting to break down below this 18 average. Let's just see where the price was when it broke down from. Roughly around this area here. Yeah, it probably was this 15. But either way, we have a situation of a market on a short-term run starting to stay. Yeah, we've had this great run up. This was 1,700. That was up to 21. Down in here, that was 1,600. And this was a decent amount of sideways correction that occurred from, this is all I can show for data on the 15. But so far, so good amongst its move. And it's doing this with a lot of coins, of course. just overall not doing the greatest. As far as where the key numbers are, 18 average of lows right now on the daily term time frames. It comes in at 1,783 Satoshi, with the 18 average of highs coming in at 1922. And let's move this on next to Theta. And it's having some it's trying, you can say. Failed breakout, failed breakout, failed breakdown. Now it's breaking out. Fail or succeed yet? We'll see. Here's a failed breakout. This occurred on the 22nd and 23rd of October. We'll say it held and stayed within the CAT, but it definitely held previous key support. And then another failed breakout. Really the only concise move down to this low, which was a failed breakdown. And here. And now we have this one in here, another attempt in breaking this market out. This is attempt number 3 since the last decline. You can even say attempt number 4. There's another one here. There's another attempt in here. There's another. I'll count this as 1. So attempt 1, 2, 3, 4. This is attempt number 5 since the last time it fell from 2,000. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes they fail. Sometimes they don't. But at least as far as myself and ratio trading comes in, every single time these things go up, I'm selling Theta and I'm buying other coins with it. And every single time they come back, either in the act of Theta going down and or the act of the other coin going up, then I'm buying the Theta back. So if this happens to fail again, then it'll be just more of the same. And I suppose I'll show one final one just to finish off this video, because this has been very volatile GRS lately. It's been just in the sideways range on the second floor, meaning since October, we have had several accounts of supporting the 23 handle, which was resistance from August and September. But all of these days in here, we can see there's like 5 of them, including what was today's session, where we have these 3 in here. We have this one from a couple days ago, and then today and Monday's movement. And it's already given a lot of these gains back. So again, any opportunities to buy and sell, they're there for what's been really, really crappy, volatile markets in comparison to where we have been. The fact that I'm talking about rather, moves going from like 24 to like 28, getting like a 17, 18% flip, and that being a big move, especially when you talk about volatility like was back in here. Yeah, that's what's available. In viewing the single term hour time frame, we can see how fat this 18 average band is, as it was a little bit in here because of the volatile moves. But as you can just see just how this has come into play. It was last night at midnight, this went to 24.35. Then it was to 24.35 to 3,000. Down to 26, back to over 3,000. Back to 26, back up to 3,000 almost, now back down to 27. It was as low as 26.5. Okay. That's the, and then just even a little bit in here as well. That's just of interesting moves. That this thing has just got some nice little interesting volatility. And if it can hold this 18 average, and I talk about, if it could break it, then maybe it can have a move. Well, it tried to here, it didn't. But if you sold and bought back, only price pays. And well, that will be it for this part. I'm going to talk about daily fantasy and gambling in general a little bit more, though. So for those tuning out, thank you for watching. For those continuing on, let's take a look at the graph for my gains in daily fantasy hockey so far. And so far through what has been about 4,000 different games played, and individual hockey games where I pick 6 different players, that's how it works, I've been able to net a profit of about almost 1,100. And doing so when I had a really bad luck streak in here, then good luck, and some more bad luck in here, and I'm going through bad luck again. Yet, I'm not losing really with unluckiness. For of my last 4 games, 3 of which had the Washington Capitals, 1 had the Edmonton Oilers. And in the 3 Capital games, I aggressively played Alex Ovechkin, and in the last Edmonton game, I aggressively played Connor McDavid. Those 4 games collectively, those 2 guys got 0 goals and 0 assists. And yet, I'm still not losing. I lost a pretty big one of these games. That was the Buffalo Sabres against the, not last night, that was a profitable game, but the Buffalo Sabres, a matinee game on Saturday. I can't remember who they played offhand again. It was a Canadian team, though. But Vancouver, maybe? But either way, that was a bad game, and I ended up losing this amount, but I got it back. There was a night game last night, the night before, and my goal, of course, is to win 5 figures. I figure within this This is a very profitable game, which you, you have to take like 10 days off a year, because this, I think, is baseball and hockey. So the return on investment for me, well, this is probably higher percentage-wise than any game I can play right now, which includes market trading. However, I believe assets should be distributed in 3 different manners. 1, fiat. 2, precious metals. And 3, cryptocurrencies. So when I'm playing the trading game in here, that's in the section of cryptocurrencies. And of course, they can be turned into fiat and precious metals very easily. And I can be playing any type of profitable games against the fiat, whether it be like I'm doing with Daily Fantasy. It can be betting on sports in a traditional measure. It could be playing poker. There's so many different ways you could be an advantage player, advantage gambler, where just through the long run, you're just going to be making profit because you're that damn good at it. And you could be profiting in a spot where the currency just starts to go flat, and you can profit all you want, and it's still not going to be that good if in modes or situations of major hyperinflation. And in hyperinflation, and it's never happened yet, and it may never happen, but it may as well too. And a lot of history shows that it has happened in the past, and it's happening in other countries right now. Venezuela, obviously, being the largest of that list. But in that spot, if you're holding any type of cash-related assets, you could be playing poker all you want, doing all this and profiting to the bank, but not as much as what the inflation would be generating. And stuff like cryptos probably would do very, very well. And gold and silver is practically almost a guarantee to not only protect your value, but even give you some bit more than from when you bought it at. And the final topic again is when you're talking about calculated gambling, that really is how, whether you're playing poker, betting on sports, what the key, if you can get the availability to do it, is to protect your gains when they happen. And so far, it has worked out that I've been able to do so successfully. And to me, this is what I would call pretty much a typical chart a professional gambler should strive towards, working towards. And that's what, throughout these games of baseball and hockey, I think I should be able to do very, very well at. And I have so far. Thank you. Bye-bye.